Good morning. Welcome back. Hope everyone is well. Today we have a video that I've been very much looking forward to making. Stravinsky's ballet Petrushka, specifically the original 1911 version. I've known, loved, played and conducted the ballet over the past 50 years. As one of my favorite pieces, I used it to introduce my children to classical music when they were little. Like me, they were entranced by the story and the colorful music. Petrushka brought a tale of love, jealousy, tragedy, and magic to life through music. It's a ballet bursting with color, rhythm, and emotion, and has remained a cornerstone of 20th century art. As such, it's a very special piece of music, and Discogs counts over 500 recordings and reissues of both the original 1911 version and the later 1947 revision for a small orchestra. Over 100 are available on vinyl. Ever counting his pennies, the 1947 revision is under copyright and published by Boosey & Hawkes. The 1911 version was published in Russia, and the copyright did not transfer. Cha-ching! Stravinsky was always counting his pennies. Let's go back to Paris in 1911. Stravinsky had already made waves with his Firebird, but his next collaboration with Sergei Diaghilev's Ballet Russe would redefine the boundaries of storytelling through music and dance. Petrushka was born out of a simple idea, the life of a puppet infused with human emotions. The ballet unfolds at a Russian Shrovetide fair. Amid the swirling crowds, a magician animates three puppets, Petrushka, the ballerina, and the Moor. But this isn't just a children's tale. Stravinsky's music and the choreography by Michel Fokine delve into complex themes of unrequited love, existential despair, and the search for freedom. The 1911 version of Petrushka is notable for its vibrant orchestration and innovative use of harmony and rhythm. One of its most striking features is the Petrushka chord, a dissonant clash of C major and F sharp major that represents the puppet's tormented soul. The music moves like the carnival itself, playful, chaotic, and full of surprises. Typically, Stravinsky incorporates Russian folk melodies, urban sounds, and a dazzling array of instrumental colors to create a world teeming with life. The role of Petrushka was immortalized by Vaslav Nijinsky. His portrayal blurred the line between puppet and person, leaving an indelible mark on the history of dance. So why did I choose these two recordings as the only two you'll ever need on vinyl? Big claims, sure. But if you hear either of these two superlative performances on the suggested vinyl pressings, I think you'll agree with me. Original pressings of both can be hard to find, and especially the Ansuz Decca, very expensive. Happily, both performances have been remastered and reissued, and both are artistic triumphs. Here are slides with each recording's information. The ballet score proved so popular that, in addition to his 1947 revision, Stravinsky arranged some of the score for piano solo, specifically for Arthur Rubinstein. Arrangements were also published for piano four hands, and a suite was drawn from the full ballet. If you're a digital person, there are some superb CDs and streaming available of the original and 1947 versions. Ozawa, Boston, Abado, and the LSO are two you can live with easily, featuring solid sound and virtuoso playing. Now to the fun, unscripted part. The reasons why I love both of these performances. Not just the performances on vinyl, the recordings are so well done. Let's start off with the Decca Ansuz with l'Orchestre de la Suisse Romande. I'll give you a quick, interesting story about how I came to this record. I bought it because it was a copy of the Speaker's Corner reissue of the Blueback. Renowned, very, very expensive original in the Blueback or on the Decca. So this was good. I think $40 or $50, and I thought, great, I get it. And I listened to it, and I was impressed, but, it's a very famous interpretation, but the sound was good on my cartridge I was listening to, but this was about 10, 15 years ago. And I kind of put it away and was looking for the ultimate Petrushka and was having a hard time finding one. Lots on CD, but on vinyl, not so much. And so I put this record up for sale. And as I always do with my records, before I send them off, I clean it on the Degritter, and then I play test it to make sure it's perfect. Because I always sell them in name and condition, and it was perfect. But my God, I was listening to it on this new Analog Relax cartridge, this very, very expensive cartridge. And it was just incredible. Where have you been all my life? My God, this was like a dream Petrushka. Mainly because the playing was better than I remembered. I had a bit of a beef always with the Orchestra Swiss Romand as being kind of a good orchestra, but not a great orchestra. Ansuz recorded Petrushka in 1950 in mono on London Decca. And I've not heard it, but I've heard that it was, good, but the orchestral playing not quite up to snuff. 57, when he recorded this one, the orchestra was in much better shape. But anyway, I hadn't heard it for like 10 years, 15 years. And on this new cartridge, it was remarkably good. The power of Roy Wallace's recording, the clarity, the beauty of it was fantastic. Roy Wallace was the engineer that did all the Geneva Deccas in Victoria Hall. Anyway, it knocked me out. Not just that, the playing was much more improved than I remembered. The recording was great. The pressing, the speaker's corner pressing is it's just a miracle. One of their top pressings. I would put it up there with their Schubert Trot Quintet and their Defier three-cornered hat. It's as good as those pressings. Very, very, very good. I've not heard an original. I'd love to. They're very, very expensive. About $1,000, I think, on Discogs to get a near mint in either the London or the Decca. Anyway, it was much better. And one of the most important things was Ansuz's interpretation, which I really, I know the score really well. I can pretty well listen to it without the score and see where I'm at. But boy, some of the things he did, there's a stringendo at number, I'll put it up on the screen so you'll see it, that not many conductors do, or at least make a big difference. He really takes off like a bat out of hell, and it's so precise and it's so beautifully done. So there's lots of things in here, in the original version, that I think that if you purchase this record, the Speaker's Corner, I think you'll really, really enjoy it. It went straight to the Audiophilia Dream List. It's that good. It's in the top 2, and we'll talk about the other one in a second. But so anyway, I sold the record and sent it off cleaned, but I play tested it and I was like, oh my God, it's so good. So I actually purchased another one. So I sent this off to, I think it was Illinois, and I went and bought another one, and it's in beautiful condition, and it's the one I've been using to do this video. So yes, a co-tied number 1. I'll make a decision at the end just because people like decisions, but right now, SXL 2011 is right up there in the 1 or 2 spot. And now the Chesky reissue, CR42. Notice Petrushka was spelt the French way. This is with the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra and Oscar Danon from 1962, originally on a Reader's Digest box set, but it's done by the Decca team. Kenneth Wilkinson at, this is Walthamstow, not at Kingsway. And it's again, superb. But I'd never heard it. I'd heard of it. It was elusive. You couldn't find it. You couldn't, you had to buy that whole box set of the Treasury of Great Music, which is, a good buy, but I didn't really want the whole set. But Chesky did it, and it was very elusive, and it still probably will be elusive. It might cost you a little bit of money. I'll put the pricing up at the end. But it's worth seeking out. And when I heard it, I found it on Discogs. I forget how much I paid for it. It wasn't cheap. But I was blown away by this performance and recording. It's exactly as its reputation says it was. It's incredibly dynamic. It's very clear. It has a beautiful Walthamstow kind of glow around it. And Wilkinson knows exactly how to record these orchestras. And the Royal Philharmonic, it's 1962. I mean, they were in good shape. They had a lot of fine players, obviously. But it wasn't as good as the LSO was in those days, and it wasn't as good as the Philharmonia, who had all the top players because of the money they could pay. The LSO were hiring and had a funding model that they could hire some really great players. But the Royal Phil do sound great. There's enough players in London to fill up 5 or 6 or 10 orchestras. There are that many great players in the pool. And the Royal Phil had quite a few of them. There's a great trumpet player on it. They say it's Stanley Woods, but it could be Philip Jones, the original Philip Jones brass quintet, brass ensemble fellow. Principal at Trinity for some time, a great trumpet player. All the soloists are absolutely wonderful. The orchestral execution, Oscar Danon, I think, is a Romanian conductor, not very famous, not a lot of repertoire, but he gets great results from the orchestra. The recording is just dynamite, and this Chesky pressing is beautiful. The mastering engineer was John Koopman. He did a great job. It's really super dynamic. When the trombones come in, the trombone part in Petrushka is very, very important. There's 3 trombones, 2 trombones and a bass trombone, and boy, do they come in like a bullock. I mean, it's really amazing. I mean, far stronger, far more powerful than the Swiss romand players. The other playing, the French horn, the flute, the oboe, clarinets, they're all about the same, on the same level with the Swiss romand. Trombones are better in the raw fill. Strings, probably the raw fill pips them a little bit. I think if you want ultimate power in a performance, this has a little bit over the Ansuz. I don't think Danon is up to the same level as Ansuz as a conductor or an interpreter. But it is certainly on vinyl one of the top 2 I've heard. One of the most important things that Ansuz gets, of course, is the characterization of the puppets, of the ballerina, kind of aloof, standoffish, and of course the Moor is a bore and kind of a horrible bully. And then, of course, the poor, pathetic Petrushka, who's suffering in many, many ways. And Ansuz gets that, but Oscar Danon does too. And I thought I'm sure it has something to do with the players as well, who bring a lot of characterization to the parts. So yes, I can tell you, if you only can find one of these 2, you'll be very, very happy. I don't think anything comes close on vinyl. There's a lot of digital recordings. I'm sure they're very good. The Philadelphia, also on CD with Muti, is very good. I've mentioned the Ozawa and the Abado with the Boston Symphony and the LSO. These are all great Stravinsky orchestras. They're all great Stravinsky conductors. But Ansuz is really something special. And the Oscar Danon has the Walthamstow and the Wilkinson recording, which is just, it's dynamite. And the pressing, the Chesky pressing is very, very beautiful. It's very quiet. If you can find them, take your choice and go from there. Unfortunately, the pricing is still quite out there. On Discogs, I'm looking at near mints, the sleeve and the record. We're looking at $220 US plus shipping. The cheapest I see is 76 euros, which is a good deal. That's just about what I bought it for, but it's very expensive. I think you can get the box set, the Treasury of Great Music, for cheaper than that. But and they're supposed to be good pressings. But anyway, that's the pricing you're gonna have to pay for that for the Chesky. Much better news for the Speakers Corner, the Ansuz. Yeah, it's going for near mint for sleeve and for the record. Anywhere between 28 euros and 58 US. So you can get it for about 40 US on average. Plus shipping, of course, is quite a bit. 23, 28 euros. Oh, 10 euros shipping from Poland. So 29.99 and 10 euros shipping from Poland. So 40 euros all in. That's a good deal. The sleeve is only VG plus, but anyway, that's the pricing. So yeah, if you're gonna go on pricing, then that's the one to get. If you can only get one out of the 2. Me, I'm a completist. I have to have both of them. It's an illness. It's a sickness, as you know. So that's it. If you're a vinyl fan and love Petrushka as I do, try and get one or both recommendations. Okay, here we go. If I had to live with one, you'd really have to bend my arm. But Ansuz's interpretation of the score is unbeatable in my opinion. And Roy Wallace's incredible recording maybe pips the post. At least for today. It was fun seeking them both out. But as I mentioned with the pricing, that's another reason that maybe Ansuz should be your first choice. Anyway, thanks for watching. Stay well, and we'll see you on the next video.